Let's play. What's up, guys? Buckmars here with episode 41 of my Minecraft Let's Play series. Wow, it has definitely been an eventful last couple of days. I got a whole bunch of news recently that kind of scares me a little bit, but hey, that's all good. Um, but let's talk about sort of what's been going on. This was a 4-day weekend for me. So then I could finish my grad project, which I am presenting tomorrow. It's a little stressful, but I have everything figured out. I've got all I've got to do is deliver a 8-minute speech and show off a product, which is an actual video that I've made about the extra life, which I've obviously talked about a whole bunch before. Anyway, other than that, over Monday night and Tuesday morning, I got to hang out with two really cool people. Let's see, how did I want to refer to them as? Tay Tay and my dwarf friend. I guess I'll use those references. They've been really cool. They picked me up late Monday night, and they were like, "Hey, let's hang out." So we did for like 4 hours. It was awesome. And the next day we also hung out for another 4 hours. So 8 hours over the past 24 for that day. It was really weird because before that we hadn't really had a lot of time to interact. Because other people had always sort of interrupted the interaction. No offense to those other people. I think they know who they are too. But again, that's fine because I lived right near the dwarf friend that I have. Um, we literally live like a minute from each other. It's actually really cool. And then Tay Tay was just over there. He was a sleepover. Anyway, um, which is fine because we can sort of go to that outlet and we can see each other outside of school very, very easily. Me and other friends that I have at the school, we can't do that as often or as easily, so it equals out. But as you guys saw in the last episode, we went to a crazy Minecraft server thing. Today we're not doing that. Today we're returning back to my own. Again, Marching Band has been over for a little while. I am working on other projects, but something I do want to talk about. You're going to be hearing about this a lot over the next month and a half. Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and whatnot. Very, very excited about that. Includes Halo 1 and 2 remastered, Halo 3 and Halo 4 all in one pack. And on December 29th, the Halo 5 beta hits. That's going to be 3 weeks long. Hopefully, I will be able to post every single little detail of that stuff. And I've just really enjoyed the Halo series ever since I started playing video games on the 360. Halo was one of my very first games on the 360. My very first game, I think I've talked about this before, maybe I haven't. Super Mario Kart. Second game ever was Super Mario 64, followed quickly by Zelda and Donkey Kong and all that stuff. Never played Mega Man. Never played whatever game Samus is from. Never played that either. Just like all these games that people have as staples to gaming, I just missed. It's just it's been a good run, and that's why I chose the topic for the grad project I did, which I've said before is video games. I mean, one of my teachers, they were like, "So what's your topic on?" And we've talked. This is obviously the forensics teacher I keep mentioning. Um, he obviously didn't say it like that, and I was just like, "Take a wild guess." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, video games." He's like, "Yeah." I'm just like, "Yeah, exactly." I basically got to prove how violence in video games does not cause violence in children. And I mentioned that with my other teachers a little bit later on, my AP macro teacher, which is an awesome class, by the way. It just got a lot harder though. It's hard, just got harder. That's what she said. No, I'm not going back to those days. But I just did anyway. Thanks, Ray. Um, all right, sorry, I just had a quick intermission for dinner. I don't know what the heck I was talking about. But I have been listening to a particular song recently. Bare Naked Ladies. Did I say that out loud? I don't know. I've just been really peppy. Everyone around me has been stressed as heck, but of course I've just been the peppiest little mofo ever, and they get really upset by that. They're like, "What keeps you so happy all that time?" And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just have no want to be normal. Maybe I just want to make people happy. I don't know. I always talk about how these videos are supposed to make people feel better. I always talk about how these videos are supposed to make people feel happy and happy inside and all of that. I hope that happens as well. I do know one of my friends is going through, depression stages right now. She has been for on and off for the last few years, and I've just been sort of along for the ride with that. And I've talked about depression before, and it's just like it just gets at you, and it's terrible. And again, just one way I sort of avoid it is I even talked about this with my dad just now. I just sleep it off. Like my family has not had a huge history with depression, so I've literally just become accustomed to just sleeping it off. Every time I feel obsolete, or filming a video, every time I feel obsolete or anything like that, I just film a video or I go to sleep. That is literally on my to-do list. That's all I do. And people find it weird, but hey, welcome to me. And I do have to warn you in advance, the timing of this video will be a bit off since my stopwatch is probably about a minute off. The stopwatch I usually use to record my videos. To make sure I keep track of time, yeah, that's going to be messed up. Speaking of stopwatches, my grad project is again tomorrow. Not really nervous about it. The product that I had to do, we had to do like a little product slash volunteer thing. I did the Extra Life thing, as you guys know. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Um, Actually, I would want to talk more about my Monday and Tuesday because Monday was a school day, which I missed to work on the grad project. That night, the two awesome people, Tai Tai and my little dwarf friend, they basically they kidnapped me, but I just sort of came along. And we literally sat there, like at our house, and talked for literally 4 hours. It was awesome. I got to learn a lot about them. They got to learn a lot about me. And, I hope through that we've connected in some way. There is a football game going on this Friday, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be really, really cold, so someone's probably going to ask me for my jacket by the end of the night. I just kind of see that coming. Since I will be the warmest person in the States. I will be the warmest person. It's going to be awesome. It'll literally feel like it's a summer day because I've got like the leather jacket that I already mentioned. I wore it to school today, and I was like, I feel like a mouse in this jacket. I also saw my dad in a whole bunch. My dad has a leather jacket he's had for about 10 years. And I've always looked up to him in that jacket, and I've also looked up to some YouTubers who have worn leather jackets. For whatever reason, leather jackets just seem to be a thing. People who wore it in YouTube videos are obviously Raw LSP in the Breaking NYC videos, which are now no longer available, as I was very sad to find out. You can still watch Equals 3, which does not feature any out of sight songs, but you can also obviously look up musical artists out of sight, and you can get some of his music rip it off of YouTube, I guess. Love you out of sight if you're watching this. And again, people have talked about how I'm very different in these videos. I do try to be. Again, these videos are me being with the people without actually being with the people. So I try to bring people up. I've become that's become sort of my symbol now, which is like I'm going to build people up. I'm going to build them to the sky. They're going to be amazing, and that's what I try to do. And when I don't do that, I have failed once, and that memory still kind of haunts me a little bit. It was over the internet, obviously, and the girl was just really insecure about herself, just in general. And one day, very out of the blue, I was obviously at band or some other after school activity. I come home, and the message literally just says, "I've given up. I'm sorry." And that's all it said, and I haven't heard from her since. So, yeah. Just a bit of a reality smack in the face a little bit. Again, this wasn't meant to be a depressing episode, but just like that's something that happened. That's something that's happened. And again, it was another one of those people that I really care about. And there are a lot of people in my life I care about. So much so that I will probably end up killing myself by caring so much about all of these people. The friend that I have that's going through the depression stages. I've made these videos to try and help. I feel like entertaining people, doing these kinds of videos, is what keeps some people going. Some people thrive when others make them happy. And if I make someone happy by doing these videos all day long, then I've done my job. Then I've succeeded in my endeavor, essentially. I wouldn't say my endeavor is to keep someone alive as it is to entertain people and to really make people realize that life is worth it and life is just only what you make it. And if you make it to suck, it's going to suck. But if you make it to be the amazing ride that it's destined to be, you're just destined to be happy. And have I made it out to be the best ride ever? No, I've made my own mistakes. I've declined on certain offers that I shouldn't have. I've also accepted certain offers that I shouldn't have. And it all sort of snowballs and creates what I am today. Um, I think, again, this is sort of one of my hit with these videos where I just start rambling. And people have complained about it quite a bit. And I have said this multiple times again. This is basically my own company. That's sort of what I look at my YouTube channel as, and you guys are my basically my customers. If I'm not entertaining you, if I'm not enlightening you, you have every right to say so and say basically you're going to stop watching the videos. Obviously, you don't use that as like a threat or extortion, but you guys definitely have a right to give me feedback. A lot of people do, and a few people have already. That's sort of what prompted my little server jump in the last video. Was someone else's suggestion, and it was a lot of fun, honestly. But I did want to sort of get down into what's going on in my life again, and did not talk about that a lot in the last video. Last video was a lot of fun to film. It was also the first video of this series that I've edited, so it was really fun to do that. I've edited a bunch of stuff over the last few days. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world to edit, like as I thought it was. It's just it's tedious. It's really really tedious, and most people do not like tedious work. So yeah, that's that. We're about just over halfway through here. I'm just sort of building up again, just kind of talking and building. I apologize if you guys are getting bored of that, but you know, other videos will be coming. Don't worry. I have sort of talked to people. What games have they not played? Halo seems to be a big one among a lot of girls that I talk to. They're just like, what is these games that I haven't heard about yet? That's what I'll be showing off. You know, I'll be sort of connecting them to my world, essentially. I would definitely call the video game world my world. Definitely. You know, without hesitation, simply because it's been there. Simply because, I mean, not that it's been there, but it's like I've played video games for such a long time, as I've mentioned so many times. And without video games, I would be a much, much different person. You know, I don't know how I would be. And I don't really want to find out. I'm always happy with the way I am. And I don't want that to change. Someone said something to me that was very important one day. I'll never forget it. Life is 10% what happens and 90% how you react to it. I heard that over this summer. And ever since I heard it, I've always been quoting it. Because it's definitely true. A lot of terrible things are going to happen in your life. It's just a fact. Stuff's going to happen. Just by mere probability. There's going to be some tragic event that strikes your life. But the question is how you're going to react to it. Not if you're going to flip out or not. Not if anything bad per se is going to happen to you specifically, but how are you as a person going to react to this bad event? How are you going to build yourself past it? So that's just another thing to think about. I do have to get off this depressing topic though. Drink my Mountain Dew. Every Wednesday we have Hungry Howies, and of course I drink my Mountain Dew. Gotta love Mountain Dew. Let's see what else can I mention. People have mentioned doing like full episodes just talking about them. I've toyed around with that, but I feel like everyone else watching the episode be like, "Oh, this is boring." I have done a few happy birthday specials for people, and those people know who they are. Cat. Um, I did go back to her special, the world that I made for her birthday special a few days ago. Um, and it was really cool. I still remember sitting down and doing that, and that was almost 2 months ago now. So our relationship has definitely evolved since then. So it's really cool to sort of go back and almost unthink a little bit and sort of undo what the last 2 months has done. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to connect all of these buildings. Right at this corner, too. Like, that's going to be the weirdest part. Uh, well, it's a block too high. But that's interesting that that is a block higher than that. Very interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, no, I just felt like building that out. Again, this is supposed to be a command pyramid of sorts. So, but yeah, no. Again, it's just like if people are going to set, I'll just say, hey, let's sit down and play a video game. Let's sit down and do this. Even let's just sit down and talk. Like that's always fun as well. I mean, even talking with a depressed person has been somewhat fun for me. Hello, Mr. Spider. Holy crap. You are excited to see me, sir. I better take precautions right now. Give me a second. How far down do I want to do this? Let's go one above. Just making it outcropping here. But, yeah, no, like, people that know me, they're just like, that I talk way too much. Yeah, I do talk a lot. I've sacrificed for so many people. But again, I enjoy making that sacrifice because people are very worth it to me. Okay. I've not talked about anything that's going on in the video. Basically what I'm doing right now is I am establishing a sort of spider-proof area of sorts. I also got to do it to that house. I realize. Like, I have not done that to any of my structures yet, so that's what I'm probably going to be doing over the next little while. Never mind. Yeah, no, Spider, you're not getting up here. On one hand, the AI allows them to climb. On the other hand, rejected! On the other hand, I block them. Get it? Blocking Mars block. Okay. Terrible puns. Actually, one of my friends sent me a whole list of puns here, and I promised myself that I would read them out. So give me a second. Let me go find them. She's gonna love that I did this. Did you hear about the guy that got his arm cut off? Or sorry, did you hear about the guy who got his whole left side cut off? He's all right now. Get that one? I wondered why the baseball was getting bigger. Then it hit me. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. It's not that the man did not know how to juggle. He just didn't have the balls to do it. I used to be a banker, but I lost interest. You know what? I'm actually going to save the rest of these for the next episode. So my view, like the little bar that shows you when people view your video, like what seconds, that just shot down. The second I mentioned puns, people are just like, no, pause the video, like skip the video to the pun list part of the video. I enjoy puns. I really do. I don't know why I enjoy them so much. I just do. To me, they're really fun to make, and it's really fun when people I know start trying to make them. It's like it's spreading. It's like a disease that's spreading. Ebola. People are gonna be like, "That's not funny." Actually, it is. I never felt so insensitive in my life. Ebola, that's so funny. Yeah, it is. But it's actually not. But the whole point I'm trying to make with that is just people are very stressed about Ebola and all of that, and I'm just like, it's gonna be okay. Odds are we're gonna be all right. If you get Ebola, it's not the end of the world. Well, it is, but see, I'm just so positive. It's not the end of the world. Well, I mean, it is, but don't think about it that way. Basically, my advice. It's pretty terrible advice. Okay. Again, I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Well, I do. I'm just building, basically. I am building on my buildings. So, buildingception. Yeah, this has been a really random episode, I think. But hey, I like random. I think I'm actually going to cut it here. We're actually starting to run out of time here. I wanted to try to cut these episodes back down again. People were saying they were getting too long. So I hope you guys enjoyed episode 41 of my Minecraft Let's Play series. I promise I will actually have solid content for next episode. This one was a little bit random, as I just wanted to sort of get my stuff out there. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Let's stop.